Well, we're just going to do a few routine tests. If I could have your arm.
No. I won't be doing any more tests.
Please, Mr. Redmond, it's just your blood pressure. Doctor's
No, I
orders.
want to talk to a doctor. I want to talk to a doctor in person.
Well, I'm sure that you will be talking to a doctor very soon.
Yeah, I'm sure I will, too. No more tests! I'm sick of it!
Mr. Redmond, if...
Hey!
Hey everybody, hope everybody's doing good today. It is August 5th, 3:30 p.m. here in Michigan. Pretty nice day here. I know a lot of you are probably dealing with some type of weather right now, bad weather, because it's just normal now to have this crazy weather, and people just have to deal with it, so we get through. But as I was doing some more research for how I believe Isaias, as I'm going to continue to call it, was a test run. Okay, that was the craziest storm I've ever seen, and I have been following these storms for at least 10 years, looking into all this stuff, studying them, tracking them, etc., etc. I'm no expert, but I can tell you that storm was so manipulated and so built so close to land. It reminded me of Hurricane Michael. How Hurricane Michael literally had nothing going, right up until it gets within, 100 miles or less from the shore, and then from nothing to a Cat 5. Now, this was not that strong, but if you've seen the damage now, there is a ton of damage. And somehow, even if this thing is on land, it had 75% of it on land, the entire system on land, including, the center. It never lost strength hardly at all. It just continued to just pump out these devastating winds. Okay, there is something else going on here. But while I was looking into that, we come across this. It says, with pandemic, CVS sees big business opportunities with CV19 testing and flu shots. Says, as the pandemic makes healthcare top of mind for many Americans, CVS Health said Wednesday that it focused on providing services that are in high demand, from flu shots to testing for colleges. The company has opened more than 1,800 drive-through sites for CV19 testing. It's launched a new business-to-business testing program for corporations and colleges, and it's getting ready to administer flu shots, which could keep people healthy as doctors and nurses cope with the spread of CV. I've been talking about how I think they are going to most definitely be using this upcoming flu season to push their narrative on CV19, whether it's how they pump up all of the, the positive testing, or if they just get so many more people to freak out about it, because you're finally going to start seeing people that are sick, like we're not right now. I've been talking to a lot of people. I haven't seen anybody sneezing, coughing, having the sniffles, anything, okay? When it's flu season, you see it all the time. So why aren't we seeing that right now? Why aren't we seeing, any signs that this is what they say it is? Unless it's not what they say it is, okay? But we all know the narrative, okay? So let's keep reading here. It says, those of you who have been following us for some time know that CVS Health is much more than just your corner drugstore. CVS Chief Executive Larry Merlo said in an earnings conference call on Wednesday. And in this era of CV, our strategy of diverse assets across healthcare, this triad of care where connections are delivered in the community and home and in the palm of your hand, could not be more important. Says, the pandemic has changed Americans' habits, including the way they get medical care. CVS stores filled fewer prescriptions and saw a drop in front store revenue during the fiscal second quarter as people skipped shopping trips and doctor's appointments during shelter-in-place orders. However, the company operating income shot up for its health benefits businesses as people delayed elective procedures and other medical care. Now, the people didn't delay them. I mean, maybe some, but most of them were, that was put into where they couldn't do that. They were told they couldn't do that. These hospitals were told they couldn't do that. So it's not the people. It is, like I said, some may have went in not had that stuff done. I'm sure there's plenty of that, but we also know that a massive portion of it, just because they're not allowed to get it. You can't leave your house. You can't get, you can't even go to the hospitals. You can't do this. You can't do that. Oh, it says, the company also noted a shift in customer mix for its health benefits business because of the pandemic's economic fallout. CVS Chief Financial Officer Eva Barato said its Medicaid members grew and its commercial members shrank as companies laid off and furloughed employees. Yet, at the same time, the pandemic has created opportunities for CVS to raise its profile and reach new customers. The company reported better than expected revenue and earnings for the second quarter and raised its outlook for the year. Oh, what do you know? Oh, they're still making money. Really? You mean they're still benefiting from all of this, complete, lie that's going on? Kind of funny that all your huge corporations continue to benefit, while all the average person continues to just get destroyed. Says, as of the end of July, CVS had administered about 2 million CV19 tests. Merlot said about 40% of those tested at a CVS pharmacy were not pharmacy customers previously. We're now connected with them digitally with the objective of making them long-term CVS customers. Yeah, I bet you are connected with them digitally and you want them to be long-term CVS customers. Yes, you want to control us long-term. It's the business-to-business testing solution called Return Ready has attracted over 40 clients, including universities and corporations, what do you know, and has over 1,000 prospective clients in the pipeline, he said. Here you go. As flu season approaches, Merlot said the company plans to play a large role too. He said he expects to see huge demand for vaxes, fueled by public service announcement. What do you know? Fueled by them pushing the fear. You gotta go get these things. You have to go get them. It's the end of the world. Hurry. Public health officials are urging Americans to get the shots to reduce confusion between CV19 and the flu, which can have similar symptoms. Oh, man. I hadn't even read that part, but that's the first time I read it. I read the first few paragraphs and had to, make the video on it. But there it is. That's exactly what we're saying. That's what I'm screaming right now. They're going to link the two. They're going to put those two together. They're going to blur the lines like they have. The symptoms are all the same, just like they just said. So you're never going to know if somebody has the flu or CV, which we already know the answer is they have the flu or they have the common cold. They don't have some, deadly disease. But that's how they're going to manipulate it. Check this out, too. Flu shot manufacturers plan to provide a record number of vaxes this year. Says, Merlot said the seasonal flu vax is never going to be more important. He said the same digital system patients have used to schedule the majority of CV19 tests at CVS locations could also be used to stagger customers and reduce wait times for flu shots. And he added CVS plans to roll out CV19 vaxes when those are ready to. What do you know, right? Everything revolves around getting them to either get a needle in you, test you, give you a flu shot, give you a vax, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Let's go and check this out right here. Let's go. This is right here for CNBC. Gotta love it. Flu shot makers plan to supply record numbers of vax doses amid CV19 pandemics from yesterday. Says, flu shot manufacturers plan to ship record numbers of vaccine doses. Says, flu shot manufacturers plan to ship record numbers of vax doses to the U.S. this year as public health officials prepare to urge as many Americans as possible to protect themselves amid CV19 pandemic. You think that this urge is going to become force? Because I do. Though we don't yet have a vax for COVID, we do have a tool to prevent influenza, said Dr. Nancy Massanier, director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Diseases in a recent podcast interview. Of course, yeah. The 4 makers of the flu vax have said they plan to ship almost 200 million doses to the U.S. this year, up almost 15% from last season. The both public and private demand for this upcoming season has been tremendous, said Elaine O'Hara, head of North American commercial operations for Sanofi Pasteur, the Vax's unit of French drug maker Sanofi. Fewer than half of American adults, about 60% of kids, typically get the flu shot each year, CDC data shows. Public health experts are aiming for higher numbers this year as they try to reduce the burden on hospitals already strained by CV19. I mean, are you buying that? Really? No, there's no chance you are. Look at it, says the public and private demand for this has been tremendous. I guarantee you that the private demand has, and yeah, the public demand has too, because you have so many of the masses buying into this. The last thing we want on top of that now is to have beds that could go to CV patients be used for influenza patients. Ventilators may be needed for CV patients, now have to be also diverted to influenza, said Dr. Jose Romero, a pediatric infectious diseases specialist and intern director of the Arkansas Department of Health. Every year, the flu sickens between 9 million and 45 million Americans, causes at least 140,000 hospitalization, and leads to 12,000 to 61,000 deaths, according to the CD. Oh, now you want to start bringing up these numbers, right? Because now you want to use them in your advantage. Before, you couldn't talk about this at all. Exactly. How many? 45 million people with positive sickness? What do we got with CV? A little over 4 million? 4.5 million? Yeah, that adds up, don't it? And while the flu shot isn't perfect, it ranges from 20 to 60% effectiveness each season, depending on how well scientists are able to predict which strains will be circulating. The agency says the vax prevents millions of illnesses and thousands of hospitalizations and death from flu each year. BS. Are you truly going to allow that to go into you? Are you going to allow that to go into your child? And I'm talking about the flu shot. When they just come out and in broad daylight in mainstream media and tell you it is 20 to 60% effective, something you have to take every single year because the strain changes and they can't keep up with it and it's just this unknown. So take this shot now, take this shot next time, take this one next year, this one next month. Oh, then you need a booster. Oh, and guess what? Now we're starting back over. It's time to start up again with this whole new set of vax shots. People, please wake up. If you still are getting these shots, I pray that you will look up the information. It is there. Please do your own thinking. Stop allowing mainstream media and the government to tell you what to believe. Figure it out yourself, and I guarantee you, you will be blown away that this is not what they're telling you it is. And you are running out of time. Not the way that they're telling you, but you're running out of time for sure, because we all know this government endgame is not good for you and I. So please, share this information. Continue to share it. Let's continue to pray against this evil that is literally grabbing on right now to everything. You can see it. It's got its fingers in everything, and it's about to put everything in a chokehold. You know, I don't know how much time we have left before they say these vaxes are ready, which is going to be, you know, the fireworks portion of this. That's when everything's going to go crazy, because it's not happening. I'm not doing it. You know, when they're talking about coming door to door to do it, you know it's going to happen. Oh, did you see also on the census? The census now is going to come, if they haven't gotten a report on you, if you haven't filled out your information, they're going to come do door to door now. They're going to come do door to door and, you know, track you down, track these places down to see who's where, what they're doing, etc. During this pandemic, supposed pandemic, you're going to send people out door to door and you're trying to stop these things from spreading. This is so ridiculous. It's so, it's so frustrating, because they're just delusional. Anybody that believes this story anymore is delusional. If this was really the threat it was, they wouldn't be sending out people to take census reports. They're already talking about, oh, well, we can't have an election because we got to do mail-in elections. Oh, but for the census, we're going to go and, send these people out. Oh, for school, we're going to go send these kids to school. Come on. Everybody, have a good day. Continue to push this information. Tell your family. Make a plan. Be ready because, come this fall, this winter, they're definitely going to be pushing everything just like this flu vax, and eventually, obviously, we know it will be the CV vax. I'll leave the links in the description. Everybody have a good day. God bless.